right, good morning. We're going to call this emergency meeting to order. Will you join me in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good morning. We're not going to try to keep you long. Mr. Hammond?
Mr. Chairman, the first thing, we've got the extension of the local state of emergency, and I think the county attorney's put it funny. Just need a motion to extend for 7 days.
So moved. Second.
All right, motion by Commissioner McCrone, second by Commissioner Rogers. Any further board discussion on this? All right, anyone in the public extending this? Any opposition to that motion? All right, motion passes 5-0.
Lee's got a couple of items that he wants to bring up.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Morning.
I got 2 items. First, request the board for consideration to suspend the bid policy for our contractors. We have 218 buildings in the county that are county-owned that have damage. And the way our bid policy is set up, anything over 10,000 has to have 3 quotes. Anything over 15,000 has to go out for bid. If we have to do our bid system, it will take years before we get our leaking roofs fixed. So my recommendation for consideration of the board that we suspend that bid policy. We'll still get our 3 quotes. We'll review them in our office so we can get moving on fixing our county buildings.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, board members, any questions on this?
No. I'll make the motion. With his recommendation.
I'll second. All right. Motion by Commissioner McDaniel, second by Commissioner Rich. Any further board discussion on this? Anyone in the public on this, suspending this bid policy?
Mr. Chairman, if
Yes,
I may, it's just on those 3 quotes, if whoever gets it and the invoice, if you will just attach those, because we're supposed to have those quotes attached to the invoices.
We'll get them to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Any opposition to that motion? Motion passes 5-0.
And that was just for our county buildings, where anything else is still going to be as is.
Okay. All right.
The second item I have, Mr. Chairman, is we've had some issues with the public tearing down their houses without getting the demolition permits. They're not calling for their locates. They're busting gas lines. The gas company's having to go out there, and it's causing all kind of chaos and hazard. We're just letting the board know that we are requiring a demolition permit. It's going to be very minimal, but it's going to require the owners to do no cut and call and get their gas lines and telephone and electricity cut out, so at least they're not causing hazards for everybody else. So that is put in place.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
And we've had a couple instances in the last couple of days. The Burger King, a prime example, where the contractor cut a big gas line. And so it's dangerous. Somebody's going to get killed if they don't start following the rules. So we just need to put that out.
Okay, yes, sir.
One question, Ms. Collinsworth, that applies to the 2 municipalities and the county. We're all bundled under, or
Well,
explain this.
It's definitely going to be the city of Wewalt and the county. Until further notice, we are doing the city of Port St. Joe, as we have been directed with the city and our board and our administrator. Until further notice, we are going to help the city of Port St. Joe as well.
Okay.
I'd recommend that the board so chooses to send a letter to the city of Port St. Joe offering to take over their building services again. I know that we've gone back and forth. You know, we did it for about 17 years. They have a contractor, but we're getting a lot of calls about them not being able to get permits and whatnot. So we've been helping them for free. But if we want to give that option to the city again, I think they're going to meet again on Thursday. If that's the will of the board, we get the chairman to write a letter.
Okay. All right, board members, what you think? Y'all fine with that?
You guys get something in writing, send it over. We still have PIOs in the office, and they'll post it on all of our social media. We've got thousands and thousands of people following us right now, so we'll get the word out pretty good.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Ron.
I attended the city commission meeting last night wherein they discussed getting, what's the gentleman's name that has the, starts with a K?
Ron.
Clear.
We're going to get him.
Yeah. Come on.
I'll forget it. One more meeting.
Ms. Norris, that's your staff, so.
She knows she
I attended the city commission meeting last night regarding this specific issue. They asked, we're going to talk to Mr. Creel about getting some more inspectors in here, but I'm sure they would welcome you making suggestions to help them out. They, I think they have a staff of 2 people in their office, and they were actually closed yesterday because of an incident with one of their staff members, so nobody could get the building department. So I'm sure that they would be welcomed out, but they were talking to Mr. Creel about bringing some more inspectors in here. And they might need some help with putting information together from homeowners, and I recommended that instead of putting stuff just on the web, that they would go door to door or have handouts somewhere or visit the churches and disseminate information, because the elderly people don't do internet, they don't have smartphones. So that was the best way to communicate with them.
Okay, all right, Lee?
Mr. Chairman, I think we're going to have to move with this fairly quickly. They sent out a text last Thursday or Friday. They're not issuing any building permits inside the city at all right now. And we're not going to be able to handle that kind of heat from, you got all the owners trying to get their houses repaired. They've already been through enough. We've already went door to door. Our county staff has went door to door doing their electric meters for them. If they're not going to issue permits, we're going to have to do something, have to step in and help them.
So we need a motion and recommendation for that
Wait a
one?
minute, no,
Okay.
just quick, now,
Yes,
we
sir.
got 2 motions here, one's on the demolition, and then one's with the city, or clarify that, I'm a little...
Motion on demolition and just for information.
Oh, okay, all right, I stand corrected, okay, all right.
So we need a motion to send a letter to the city's office of support. Okay, I entertain a motion.
So
Motion
moved.
by Commissioner McDaniel. Need a second. Second by Commissioner Rich. Any further board discussion? Anyone else in the public? Any opposition to that motion? Motion passes 5-0.
The only other thing I have is next week, probably by Thursday, Sherry's going to have a couple scenario recommendations for the board, looking at immediate cuts and freezes across the board, and just some scenarios to tell you how bad it could be. We're certainly hoping it's not going to be that bad, but based on some of the more grimmer forecasts, you could levy 10 mills next year, not bring in the same amount of money that you're bringing in this year. So I know none of you want to levy 10 mills, but even if you did, you wouldn't be able to bring in the same amount of revenue that we're funding this year. So we're going to bring you some scenarios that we did in the late 2008, 2009, where we cut 3% out of budgets across the board, and which if you cut 3% this year and 3% next year, that's 6%. That'll help some, but you know, if we're looking at a 25 to 35% reduction in admirable tax values, that's going to be a real rough budget year. So at some juncture next week, I'm going to ask you to call a special meeting and let's make some decisions going forward.
Okay. All right.
That's all I have at this time. Sheriff or anybody else have anything?
I got one item right
Yes,
up at the end. Mr. Chairman, thank you. Gentlemen, let's get a clarification. Got a lot of people out of here, I call it two-faced book, putting out false information, and they're the same type of people, just like this gentleman up in Pittsburgh that killed these people. We got them right here. I hate to say that, but we have. But it's hurting us. Now, it was mentioned back in the meetings, and I want to pursue this if we can, that when we'll just use some woman, Ashbridge is contracted with the county to clean our county right-of-ways, to clean up. The state has another contractor. But the question came up was that we were looking to get where these contractors could go onto your private property and do a limited cleanup at no cost to the people. Now, we need to pursue that, and we need to pursue that, because there's a lot of people, elderly people, they can't do it. They got a big old tree there. They can't. People don't have money. They don't have jobs. But is that still, let me ask you just a question, older staff, is that still ongoing?
The private roads has already been approved, so these subdivisions like Windmark and Guff Air and the different private roads, Jones Homestead, there by the airport, that's already been approved. We understand it has been approved for the private property cleanup, which is limited still. It's 100 feet around the house.
Yeah.
They'll have to sign a waiver. We have not been provided that documentation, but we have been told verbally that it has been approved by the state. So when we get that, the county attorney will provide the hold harmless, and then that will be between the homeowner and our contractor. But
I know they may have to sign out
That's
the
right.
lease, but I'm getting hit. Well, you said, no, I haven't said. I said the board. I don't have that authority. The board is trying.
that is correct.
If I could, Mr. Chairman.
Trying. I think I'm correct there. The board is trying.
And that doesn't mean we're gonna tear down houses.
That is correct.
Let's get that straight, 'cause,
That is
yeah,
correct.
that's just, so.
That is correct. It is the for yard debris and for storm debris and for all this
Yeah.
stuff, they put it on the right of way, it's gonna be hauled off, and we're gonna do multiple passes, and that's gonna be. But if you've got a damaged home that's standing, and you hire a contractor to haul that off, that is your responsibility to haul it off.
We're not going in there, but this is for down trees and things of that.
If and when, this comes available, will there be two places to sign up, like one in the north end and one in the south end? Will they have to come down here and officially sign up for this service?
The easiest answer is I don't know. We will try to work with Ashbridge to go through the community when they're, go actually to their house and get them to sign up or sign up on a list. It's much more convenient to get them when they're on the street. If they're on 2nd Street and Wewall, to get everybody on 2nd Street, Wewall that wants that service to sign while they're there. This is going to be a long process. This is not going to be the quickest way to get your yard cleaned up. But if you are in a situation where you can't afford to do it, not able to do it, doesn't have anybody that's volunteered to do it, that they will clean, and the parameters are 100 feet around that house. So if you're on a 100-acre piece of property, that's probably not going to help you, but on a regular size standard lot, they'll cut the trees around your house for 100 feet.
Just a simple one leg, maybe one sentence or two at the most, just relieving the county of any liability.
And the contractor.
And the contractor of any liability.
That's right. And it'll be at no cost to the homeowner.
Yeah. And we're not gonna rake the yard and resod the yard, just get the big stuff out.
Michael, I did notice, if I could, AmeriCorps is here in St. Joe. They're doing a lot of cleanup for people, in the yards, so.
Yeah, and Samaritan's Purse was
Yeah.
doing it in the
Yeah.
north end, I know,
Yeah.
a lot, and the parking too. So there are a lot of folks that have been doing it for free. There's also a lot of folks who have been doing it for big money.
Yeah.
But if they've got patience, it's gonna work through where, through this program that DOT has taken over, that Ashbrook would clean their yard around their house for 100 feet around their house.
One other thing, and that, on the north end, I've been telling everyone, place your debris into the ditch, do not put it on the pavement. But if you could, if a match will burn it, put it in this pile. If it won't burn, put it in that pile. Put it in that, by the way, the contractor don't have to come in and try to segregate it out. And they've been pretty good at it. I've had a couple of neighbor feuds, but I think we got all that worked out, the sheriff and his deputies. But anyway, that's what I'm telling them, just put it to the right of way where the truck can come down on the pavement and reach and get it.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
we also need to address the trailers again. We beat this
Yeah.
horse to death, but we met with FEMA. Mr. Yeager might want to talk about it, but they keep, the word keeps getting out that the county, prohibiting, bringing in RVs, and that's just not true.
They're lying.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
exactly what they're doing.
And we did meet with FEMA. What day was that, Warren? Was that
Yes.
day before yesterday? And, that program has been approved, according.
It has been, and all, of course, we hear that all the time, but it's imminent that that program's coming, and that they will have a housing plan, so to speak, is what they call it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're waiting on that to come down. Let me add this right here with that crisis cleanup also. I think it's AmeriCorps. It's a 1-800 number also. I don't know if y'all got it, but we need to get it to you, and they can call. It might take, they said they got to register you first, and it might take a few days, but they will eventually get around to you, so we might need to get that phone number to you also. All right, Ms. Norris, go ahead.
I just wanted to follow up on that with Samaritan's Purse. I understand from them that they're restricting it to 100 feet around your home as well. I'm not sure about AmeriCorps, but...
Go ahead, Mr. Hammond.
Just got a couple more. Now, we've been having massive problems with MediaCom here. We were down again yesterday, so Dennis has worked out something with Consolidated. I'm signing an emergency contract for a backup. It's going to be in the $400 a month range, but just to update, you don't need to vote on that. The county attorney tells me we're going to meet, joint meeting with the city and the county folks, staff, with Horn next week, and we'll be signing individual contracts. Each city will be signing their own contract, be responsible for their own stuff, and the county will be signing that contract that you authorized me to sign next week. And the supervisor of elections wanted me to inform everybody again that they're voting straight through election day at the two super voting sites, 7 to 7 Eastern Time, on both ends, the library and Will Hitchcock in his office here in Port St. Joe.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Anything else? All right.
I got one other thing.
Yes, sir.
I requested, I called Mark and I requested, a cleanup of Highway 71, and he told me that was, falling under, Florida DOT, jurisdiction there, so contractors anyway. He got it done very, very quickly with one phone call, and I just want to say, thank you for doing that, because it was not only an eyesore, but it was also a safety hazard, with the amount of traffic going up and down 71, people pulling, in and out of our driveways and businesses there. So, thank you for doing that for us, Mark, and the state for taking care of that in a quick manner.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Chairman, Mark may
Yes,
want to explain, Mike, that we do have two different contractors. Ashbridge's doing everything that's not basically 71, 22, or 98.
Modernization's killing us.
Anyhow, I have a good relationship with Ashbridge, and now have a good relationship and a good contact with the crew from DOT, so they are sending me daily updates every evening. I'm getting an email of where they've worked and what they've done and what they've accomplished. They've told me they welcome requests or priorities, so I told them I work for 5 different men that have 5 different sections of the county. I know that each of you probably have priorities. If you can get them to me, I'll get them out. So if there's problem areas of safety concerns like Mr. David had, we'll work on those first. So any requests or priorities, just let me know.
Mark, I know it's going to be an ongoing problem, but I know over here on 98 it is getting bad again.
The places we have limited right-of-way, like 71
Yeah.
through Wewall and 98 through St. Joe, where the right-of-way is condensed because of
Yeah.
residential and commercial property, they get out, they pick it up, and then there's room, they put it back out. So it'll have to be a continual, they'll have to come through and clean it, and then they'll put more stuff, and we'll come down.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I got one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Going from St. Joe to Will Hitchcock, I think we got about 15 or 20 leaning trees. Some of them, I guess, the next wind events, we're gonna lose probably a few of them. Is there any way we can get those cut?
We've already talked to John Howell about some of them. Actually, the county cut a couple on 71 this weekend. After that event, we cut several on Overstreet Road, which is our responsibility.
I just know that there's an accident waiting to happen, and if we can, I don't care who does it, if we can do it ahead of an accident, or preventing somebody from losing limb or life, that's what we need to do. Take a proactive approach.
I'm probably going to reach out to Deseret today. There's some trees on the Overstreet Road that's on Deseret property that are probably at a 45-degree angle toward the road. And at nighttime, if one of those falls, it's going to cover the road and somebody coming through at night. So I'll talk to Deseret today about what they can do. They have a bunch of volunteers, or some more people come in, and they have some equipment that they might can help us on the Overstreet Road.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since we're talking about Overstreet right now, power out there, has anybody got any clue? Have you heard anything on that? I mean, I'm getting...
It's getting better. I know the judge got power the day before yesterday, so they are working. Now, some people right next door don't have power, and some of them, they have damage, but they are working. Everybody's south.
I understand, down Pleasant Rest Cemetery may be a while. Jim, they did get some on Pleasant Rest. Oh, did they? Yeah, good. Yeah, good. That's, I know that they, yeah.
a lot of
Several.
them, the weatherhead, a lot of them,
Mhm.
that, everybody tries to go underground now, they can't, but some of those weatherheads are broken in Gulf Coast Electric until they're through the building department, so, yes, they have electricity, but some of those homes there don't have it due to their,
I'll be able to answer questions anyway. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
The other thing I forgot,
Yes.
Mr. McCrone brought up about the bridge there at Simmons Bayou, it had dropped back down. Several of those temporary patches on 98 and that had dropped down, that they're monitoring, we made them aware of it, but until they get a permanent fix, that's
That's
gonna be a
right.
constant problem.
And that's what I was talking about.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's kind of got, that, but two issues, one, the garbage on the side of the road, but number two, the actual road
Right.
patches aren't holding.
All right. Anybody else? All right, appreciate y'all time and effort. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
McCrone, second by Commissioner Rogers.
They're the ones that's been coming in.
Motion passed 5-0.
get away with something.